Hi, my name is Ethan Miller, and I've always loved being alone, away from crowds, away from voices, just me, the trees, and the silence that wrapped everything. But that weekend, that one night changed my life forever. I told myself, I just need a quiet weekend. Somewhere in the woods, no phones, no traffic, just me and nature. I was exhausted from the noise of the city, from endless notifications, and that never-ending race of life. So one Friday morning, I packed my car, a tent, some food, one bag, and my camera, and I left. Toward the deep northern forests of Montana. The roads were completely deserted. No cars in sight, no human voices anywhere. Cold wind crept in through the window. Every breath smelled like cedar and earth. Almost like the forest had already welcomed me. Bit by bit, the smooth highway disappeared. My car now bumped along a rough dirt road filled with stones and dry leaves. Trees towered around me, branches stretching into the sky. The air was strange, cold but heavy, like it was hiding something unspoken. No noise, not even a single bird chirping. Just me and the soft hum of my car that the forest seemed to quietly listen to. After nearly 3 hours of driving, I finally reached my favorite spot. No people, no signal, no calls, no messages. Just me and the forest. The trees were so dense, even in the daytime it felt like dusk. And that's exactly what I wanted. Solitude, silence, and something else. Something I couldn't quite explain. I stepped out of the car slowly, took a deep breath. The smell of pine, the cold air, and the eerie stillness surrounded me. No sounds, no lights, just the haunting silence of the woods, and me. I walked a little further to choose a camping spot. The ground was soft, dry leaves scattered everywhere. I carefully set up the tent, dug a small fire pit in front of it, and slowly built a fire with dry twigs. The small flames flickered, sometimes strong, sometimes weak, like the breath of an old, forgotten book. I poured soup into a pot and placed it over the fire. A tall cedar tree stood right behind the tent, its shadow trembling on the canvas. Maybe it was just the wind, or maybe something else. There was a strange calm, too calm, so quiet that even my own breathing started to feel unfamiliar. Around 1 a.m., inside the tent, tucked into my sleeping bag, sleep had just started to take over. When suddenly, a sound jolted me awake. Like someone was walking slowly over dry leaves. I immediately froze. Probably an animal, I whispered to myself. Maybe a raccoon, or a deer. But then, the sound stopped. Just stopped. No wind, no crickets, only silence. A silence so deep it started turning into fear inside my veins. I slowly picked up my flashlight and switched it on inside the tent. My heart was racing, my hands trembling slightly. There was something outside the tent. I reached for the zipper and very slowly began pulling it down. The zipper sliced through the silence like a scream. As soon as it opened a little, I pushed the flashlight outside. All I could see was pitch black. The moon was hidden behind the clouds. Tall trees loomed above, their shadows twisted into terrifying shapes. And then, I saw it. A shadow, like a person, standing near my car. Absolutely still, absolutely silent. Roughly 20 feet away, a figure. Its head was tilted to one side, like its neck had no strength. Its movements weren't human. Each step, a sudden jerk. Each breath, broken, mechanical, like a dying machine. I froze. I couldn't breathe. "Who's there?" I asked, my voice shaking. No answer. It just stood there, watching me, staring, like it could see straight through my soul. With trembling hands, I lifted the flashlight and pointed it straight at its eyes. In that very instant, it vanished. Yes, just like that, as if it had turned into smoke and faded into the air. I rubbed my eyes. Am I dreaming? My heart was thudding loudly. But then, right behind the tent, a woman's voice. Soft, shaky, cold. My blood froze, breath caught in my throat. I turned around instantly, but there was nothing. I stumbled back inside the tent, hands trembling, panic taking over. I zipped it shut, fast, dropped the flashlight, tried to calm myself. It's just exhaustion. A hallucination maybe. But my heart, it refused to believe that. I laid down, gripped the blanket tightly, forced my eyes shut. But that woman's voice still echoed in my ears. And then, a sound, a faint scratching sound, like someone was dragging their fingers across the tent's fabric from outside. I picked up the flashlight in fear, breath out of control, pointed the light toward the sound. And then, blood. Someone had written, with their finger, using thick, dark blood on the tent wall. "Don't sleep," I screamed. "Who's there?" No reply. But then, the zipper of the tent started sliding down on its own. I was frozen in place, just staring at that thin black line which was slowly opening, letting the darkness seep inside me. And those 3 words, still right there. "Don't sleep," written in blood. Fresh blood, still dripping a little. My hands were shaking. Gathering my courage, I picked up my flashlight and shone it toward the zipper. There was no one there. I quickly zipped the tent halfway closed. I was holding my breath from fear, just as I was about to peek again. A face, just beyond a thin veil. So close, I swear, if it wanted, it could have stolen my breath away. A completely pale face, like it hadn't seen sunlight in centuries. Eyes, wide open, bloodshot. And the lips? There were no lips, just a long, deep cut, stretching across both cheeks. It was smiling, a smile that wasn't human. I screamed, fell straight back. But when I looked again, there was nothing there. Without thinking, I grabbed my bag, took my flashlight, and stepped out of the tent. One thing was clear. I had to get out of there. Now. I ran quickly toward where I had parked my car, but the forest felt different. The path I came through was unrecognizable. Every tree looked the same. Every turn felt like a copy of the last. I stopped, looked around. I thought, either I had lost my way or the forest had changed. I was losing my mind. I yelled at the top of my lungs, "Who are you? Leave me alone!" And then, a woman's laugh. Slow, broken, like an old record stuck on repeat. I dropped to my knees. My breath was out of control. And then, I saw her, standing between the trees, tattered clothes, an old chain hanging from her neck. In her hand, the zipper from my tent. She slowly moved closer, but she wasn't walking on the ground. Her feet hovered slightly above it, like she was sliding through the air. I closed my eyes in terror, and when I opened them, I was back inside the tent. Everything was exactly the same, as if nothing had happened. Was it all just a nightmare? I ran out of the tent. The car was still there. Everything seemed normal. But outside the tent, written in blood, were still the words, "Don't sleep." There was no time to think anymore. I turned the key in the car and drove away. As soon as I hit the road, my phone finally got signal. The first thing I did was check the camera I had turned on recording that night for the animals. In the video, at 2:53 a.m., a figure appears in front of the camera. Black eyes, the same straight-cut smile on the lips. It comes very close to the camera and softly whispers,
"Next time, no one will wake up."
I deleted the video. I will never go camping again. Never. Because the forest isn't just filled with animals. There's something else that stares into your eyes and then creeps inside you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button with the bell icon on so you never miss our next story.